Like, you ever seen somebody just go too hard on the drugs? And you like...
Shit, I've seen them video shoots. What you talking about?
Right, exactly.
I see on video shoots all the time on set with LakaFilms.
Yeah.
Them niggas be doing drugs. I done seen one artist, no name in particular, take like damn near 7 cups of lean on one video shoot.
Just like
hella Zans, and then damn near smoke like an ounce of
foaming at
weed.
the mouth and shit.
Yeah, like motherfuckers be off drugs. Like, yeah, I know how that Hollywood shit is. Like that shit, yeah. But I never knew to what extent. But I always knew he did. He dipped and dabbed in a lot of shit, always.
But you know, I mean, I just, you know.
Because he always looked healthy. Well,
and that's the thing,
functional.
Like,
because you know some drug addicts,
Lil Wayne,
they body like, you know, like their body is like really deteriorating. But for him, I couldn't tell as much. Yeah. So, you know, it really threw me on surprise.
And it's just crazy because it's like Mac Miller works with.
Are you listening? Damn.
Hey y'all, welcome to episode 11 of Kwality Konvos. This is your boy Julio the Juice Man.
It's your boy Derek.
And we back.
Yes, sir.
Some more content. You know, some unfortunate things happened yesterday.
Yeah, tragic.
With the death of Mac Miller. You know, as a fan, I was salty as hell. Like, big salty. You know, with Mac Miller, he really talked about his drug. Because I don't really get how people saying like, oh, I'm surprised, because he really was transparent with his fans about his drug abuse for years and years. And being very honest, I thought his drug abuse was gonna come much earlier than this.
Right.
But when he released like Divine Feminine and he got with Ariana Grande, it just seemed like he was, you know, on a different path, or at least on a better path. You feel me?
Right.
Now she left him. Now they say it's because she really couldn't deal with the pressure of like trying to keep him clean. But you know, at the end of the day, she left him and apparently got engaged to the comedian Pete Davidson. And a lot of people blaming Ariana Grande for his death, which I know is fucked up for both of them because you know, the man expressed the fact that he was really hurt about it. Like, they broke up and she got engaged like real soon.
Right.
Now, me being honest, if a shorty I mess with, well, my girl, my super girl, broke up with me and got engaged within the year, I would be pretty salty.
Hell yeah.
However, that's not necessarily her fault. You feel me? Because it's not like the breakup was her fault. So I don't, you know, the fact that people blaming her on some like it's all her fault, like that's bogus.
Yeah, that is.
But
because you got to be playing about
to say she contributed to the situation that probably allowed him to OD, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's foul to say. I think that's just the downright truth.
I mean, we always knew he was on drugs. He probably just did it a little bit more.
Exactly, yeah.
Just because of the pain from relationships. Like, love is a drug too. That shit hurt. So, like, you know.
And you heard it in his last album, so, like, Swimming. Like, he you know, the man was hurt. He was hurt, you know, and...
But yeah, I wouldn't put the blame on Shorty.
Yeah, definitely. You can't do that because at the end of the day, like, you know, we all deal with at least somebody that suffers from substance abuse, and they hard to love a lot of times. Like, you know, you got to understand that there's a lot of things going on with their mental to where they're not thinking straight with half their decisions, and it's really hard to kick it.
Yeah, it is.
But at the same time, like, it's not your sole responsibility to take on that burden all the time, and it's really messed up because it destroys a lot of relationships and a lot of lives. But
I mean,
at the same time, they didn't really got nothing to do with her.
So, what she thought she was gonna be a savior or something? Because like everybody knew where Mac was at with the drugs and shit, like just from his music all the time. So it's like she knew what she was getting herself into. So what did she mean, like, when she couldn't, like, she was going into a relationship thinking she was gonna change a nigga?
I mean, then again, you never, I mean, sometimes you don't know how bad it really is, you know? And the thing about Mac Miller, like, he's been a celebrity for so long that you forget he's 26, but also he's really good at, like,
just being a functional.
Right, exactly. So it's like, you know, how many functioning drug addicts out here? You You know what I'm saying? That don't even know that they're functioning.
Damn near 90% of the population. America is a drug population. Whether you, not even if you're on just hardcore drugs, whether you're on prescription drugs, anything, you're dependent on that shit. And that's why I be trying to remind people, like, even if you're like diabetic, not that you can control it or whatever, like, you're dependent on that insulin or whatever you're taking to survive. So like, damn near 90-something% of the U.S. population is on drugs. So like, and you gotta understand that.
He just was battling drug addiction for so long that it was really casual for him. So I mean, maybe she just didn't know like what state he was at. Right. But then again, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe she just didn't realize what she was getting into. You know, it's one thing when it's all a party. It's a whole different thing when people getting high by themselves, and you know what I'm saying, with them opiates, man. It's like, you know, if you ever just hear people talk about them, bro, it's like a love affair, man. Like, people be really going off this shit, man.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because I was just watching an interview with like Bobby and Whitney, just watching their relationship and seeing, because it's the whole Bobby show that's going on. So I really got to check that out too. But you know, just looking at their relationship, but both of them were on drugs, so it was a little different. They were both, but he was saying still, like, when he was ready to quit, she wasn't. Or like when one was ready to quit, they weren't. So their dynamic was a little different, but you know, it was still, you know, a situation, relationships, drugs is that's the thing. That can be that can ruin a lot of relationships. But you know, it's a loss for the hip hop community. Definitely. My condolences to his family and everyone who's hurt from it, his close friends and all that. But
people just don't know how talented that man really was. Like,
what's your favorite Mac Miller song?
Favorite Mac Miller song?
Yeah, what's your favorite Mac Miller song?
That's hard. I mean, I would damn near say Happy Birthday.
Okay. Just
because that became like my official birthday song.
Okay.
It's a real happy song, and he was spitting on there. So yeah, I'll say Happy Birthday.
Happy Birthday.
But yeah, the man his catalog was just so deep. Like, you know,
crazy
so
catalog.
Deep.
I wondered, did he own his music? And then I was trying to think about, I was trying to put, I'm sometimes it's a little conspiracy, everybody like a little conspiracy, but I was trying to get, like, cause you know, it's always a thing with artists dying young and they're usually around a certain age.
27 Club.
Oh yeah, so he just missed it.
And what's crazy was he rapped about the 27 Club all the time, and then he died at 26. So that's just crazy, man. But and then it's like, man, it's like we all grew up to Mac, at least with like the Donald Trumps. Like, we was in high school when all that happened. So
Lucky ass bitch.
He was.
That was my shit. Lucky ass bitch was my shit. It's my shit. That's my shit. That bring back memories. Like, and then
God damn.
Lucky ass. That was cold as hell. But
man, people forget he was only 26 years old. Like, that shit tragic as hell. But yeah, man. Hopefully it just is one of, you know, another example of why people need to just sometimes chill, man. You know, everything start out fun. Everything. Yeah. Everything start out fun, and then, you know, people develop, like, you know, huge problems, don't know how to cope with depression.
What drug was his of choice? I know we talk a lot about weed.
Mac did everything.
Damn.
Everything, like coke. Shrooms.
I know he was into psychedelics and coke.
He was real bad off lean too.
Really?
Yeah. It was actually a video that came out of, like, he was in the stew with French Montana. He was hella, and they all had the lean. And French Montana just looking at his ass like, bro, this ain't the type of shit you, like, just play with. Right. And he was just like, nah, bro, this is perfect. Like, this is how I, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen somebody just go too hard on the drugs? And you like,
shit, I've seen them video shoots. What you talking about?
Right, exactly.
I see on video shoots all the time on set with LakaFilms. Yeah. Them niggas be doing drugs. I done seen one artist, no name in particular, take like damn near 7 cups of lean on one video shoot. Just like hella Zans, and then damn near smoke like an ounce of weed. At the mouth and shit. Yeah, like motherfuckers be off drugs. Like, I know how that Hollywood shit is. Like, that shit, but I never knew to what extent. But I always knew he did. He dipped and dabbed in a lot of shit, always. But,
you know, I mean, I just, you know,
Because he always looked healthy. Well,
and that's the thing,
functional. Like, because you know some drug addicts,
Lil Wayne,
they body like their body is like really deteriorating. But for him, I couldn't tell as much. So it really threw me on surprise.
And it's just crazy because it's like Mac Miller works with
everybody catalog. I was looking, Schoolboy Q, Lil Wayne, like everybody. Like he has a song, Ariana,
Kendrick, Ariana Grande, Chief Keef,
hell yeah,
Migos.
Everybody.
Any rapper that raps, he's been with them
on collabs in some sort.
I mean, man, bro, like it's crazy. I seen this shit on Twitter. I seen Wiz Khalifa say rest up. So I'm like, I hope he don't mean like dead. Looked online, TMZ, and TMZ be pretty official. Like when they post something, it's real.
A lot of times they post bullshit, but they do.
When they post news, that it's news. So or at least a death is real. So it's messed up. But man was cold. He a legend. Music gonna live forever.
Yes.
And this ain't one of them people that it's an option. Like XX, like his death was very tragic, but he didn't really reach that level of stardom. And he didn't really have
that extensive catalog.
Yeah, exactly. Like he didn't get to have that type of impact. Like he had a really big impact for what he was able to make. But Mac Miller, he's been doing this shit for a decade. You feel me? You forget the man 26 based on how long he been doing it. So it's crazy. But another thing I wanted to speak on is it's kind of one of them things where it's like you're not really affected by things until it hit home.
What's that?
And it's almost like a form of PTSD, low key, because it's like we be so used to people dying and people getting shot that it's like numb, So not too long ago, it was a shooting on my block out west, and my mom was telling me like, man, there's red tape everywhere. I can't even go outside. It's crazy. And she was mentioning like some kids got shot. And I'm reading the article and I'm like, man, like that's tragic, because it be little kids playing like 2 doors down. And I'm like, that's tragic, what I'm saying? I didn't really know him like that, but I'm still like, that's tragic. Then come to find out, because everybody off my block grew up together. You feel me? Now I don't want to say the name just because, I want to keep, his situation private, but this one of the mans like I grew up with, like my sister fought. Remember I told you the story? My sister fought a dude in the back of the alley. His little brother, he got shot. You feel me? And I think in a coma, and it's just like, school just started back. Folks supposed to be going to school.
Back to school spirit.
And can't even enjoy that because grown ass men with badass aim don't want to fucking like. I mean, it's just so fucking much,
women like tempers too. Like I'm just like
it's just so fucking much that just blows me about that shit. And I just feel like at the point in which you hit a kid, bro, that's when all the shit stop. Or that's when all the shit should stop. Y'all niggas, even the niggas that didn't do the shooting, the niggas that was aimed at, y'all need to y'all know who did that shit. Ain't nobody trying to speak up. Now everybody want to be silent. That's fucked up. Like y'all got a kid life on the line because y'all doing a bunch of shit, and I ain't gonna come at niggas hustles and niggas lifestyles, so I understand full circle why they like that. I done seen some of they peoples and whatnot, but at the same time, it's just like, man, like at the point at which kids can't even play outside, bro, like it's fucking nuts.
It's ridiculous. Kids couldn't play outside in Chicago, but it's like it's unsafe just to walk out your door. Like you never know what might happen. Because like I said, my granddad's right up the street, same shit. Niggas just like he sit out on the porch all the time, just enjoying the day. He retired, like want to catch some air, and next thing you know, niggas shooting on the porch. I mean, just shooting up the block or whatever, and then you see niggas dead in between cars and shit. It's just wild, like this shit is too much, like, but
I just man, it's just crazy. Niggas really out here killing each other, like that's crazy, man. Like people just really be like, I know it's like I can't even speak on it like in a very naive way. Because like I said, I understand why things happen, like, and I understand why these situations are how they are. But at the same time, like, it's just real unfortunate that, like, we killing each other and, like, kids is you know what I'm saying, getting involved in this shit. Like, it just don't make no sense. But, yeah, man, Chicago just been having a rough year. We've been having a rough couple years with this with all the murders and all the shootings, and it's just like, god damn. Like, then there was another dude that, like, some college student, I think he went to, he was a grad student. I want to say he went to U of I, I'm not sure. But he went to, like, a pretty good school, which, you know, doesn't matter. Either way, he was a college student, non-black person, came to the city and got killed within 4 hours of visiting the city. And, like, you know, for somebody to stay in the city, the first thing you gonna be like is, man, Chicago ain't really like that. Like, y'all ass be capping, like, shit. Y'all just scary. You know, and it usually don't happen like that.
Yeah.
But for that to happen, like, it just kind of shows, like, shit is out of control, man. Like, it's really out of control. And it's like, you know, regardless of the race, like, that's just really unfortunate that somebody lost their life just coming to the city for whatever reason, you know.
Tourist type.
So,
but
yeah, man.
Speaking of Chicago, let's transition over to a better note.
Yeah, let's be happy.
Yeah. Kanye. Let's talk about him for a little bit.
Oh yeah, what we gonna talk about?
There's couple things. There's music that he just released, and then the interview. I don't know if you've seen the interview that he had.
Oh, you talking about the WGCI, the 92.3?
Well, either one.
Oh yeah,
I
want it. Yeah.
The one he was crying on. How do you feel about that? Do you think he's trying to make amends for all the bullshit that he's been doing? And
I think, well, yeah, I mean, obviously, because he said it, but I think also people don't really take mental illness well.
Okay.
Unless it's somebody they know, you know, which is weird. But it's like, I mean, like, some of the things, like, knowing people that's actually bipolar in real life.
Yeah.
Some of the shit they say out their mouth not the most, like, clear and, like, I mean, it just, like, some of the shit they say is actually kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of them develop, like, a God complex. Like, it's a real thing. Like, they develop a God complex.
In what regard? What you mean?
Like
they think they're...
they literally think, like, they just think they're above everybody. Like, I don't know how to describe it, like, scientifically, but it's literally called a God complex. You can look it up. Like, they just...
I mean, is it really that? Because, I mean, you know, with depression, I mean, bipolar or whatever, there's two sides.
Yeah.
And if there's that God complex, there's also the deep fall they have, like that depression that they go into, too. So it's like, can you really fault them if they do have that complex?
And that's what I'm saying.
Because, like, you go through a lot of depression, too. Like, they go through a lot of downs on top of, you know, being up. And that's just life. Like, you know, you want to, you know, always pat yourself on the back and be your own, you know, your own personal fan or whatever it is.
And bro, I've seen it, bro. I've seen people be off their meds and be on their meds and be
shit. We had a teacher who was bipolar.
Completely,
Mr. Scott?
He was
like, that man was real,
I mean, I've seen people be on their meds and off their meds, and, like, even at the point at which he started crying, he was just basically saying, like, you know, this is why I need people that care about me around me, because shit like this not supposed to happen, you know. And yeah, like, you know, this is what you have a whole team for. But at the same time, when you're doing live interviews, it's kind of hard for somebody to look out for you when you just talking, you know.
Yeah.
But I also just feel like that's why you should just shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna lie. Like, sometimes you just gotta, like, not. But I don't know. I mean, the media kind of just be tricky, because you never know when you're gonna be in an interview. You can be walking down the street, somebody see you, ask you a question, and you just get your thoughts. But
yeah, you never know how. Yeah, the media, and then I don't know. I don't want to shift too hard, because like, with the media being tricky, because we're talking about Kanye, we're gonna touch back on it. But that Bill Cosby dude, and the media playing with him like that, and then how they just did him, like how Shorty tried to just shame him and make him seem like, you know, just a bum ass dude or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fucked up. But then the media, like, I don't know, they had his back.
Ruthless.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, it's two sides of it.
Sometimes they pick you up.
Sometimes they just like, they want to watch you fall. So I don't know. You just never know. The media is funny as hell. But just going back to Kanye, because I don't want to go on a tangent or whatever. But the music he just dropped. How do you feel about that? I, for one, personally, like the song with Lil Pump.
Yeah.
That shit was fire.
Yeah, fire.
Chorus fire.
And you gonna like the video when you see the video.
Okay, I
too.
gotta
It's
watch
like
the video.
it's a very like Missy Elliott.
Oh man.
Type.
Okay.
You feel me?
Vibe.
Like vibe. Like they had like these like big square bodysuits type shit. And they were just walking through this like hallway the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And you know the beat, so they literally was just like it was. I liked it. It was pretty dope.
I gotta check it out.
Definitely reminded me of like that era where Kanye was just on everybody's song, even though it's his song. But you know, like when Kanye used to do hella features and just swag that shit out. That's what this remind me of. You know, it's a nice little pop beat. I like it.
I like it. But what was the name of the second song that he
Ecstasy.
released? Okay,
He
Ecstasy.
released that before.
Now, you know what's so funny about both of these songs I was just thinking about is the fact that you remember when back when Kanye was on his like I guess godlike complex and he was on some random shit. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, bro. I've definitely been peeping, bro.
Yeah.
It's motherfucking damn.
But yeah. So Kanye was both of the songs they got like a sexual tone to it. And then you remember when they were talking about him being on Pornhub and like all that shit. So I'm like, is Kanye preparing for his Pornhub album or is he really getting into the porn thing?
I mean, bro,
because the songs were hella, they were dope, but they were sexual as fuck.
He's been
well.
really like sexual since Yeezus, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I've noticed that like even Yeezus had a very, very like dark sexual undertone.
So is he leaning towards that Pornhub thing?
I think so. I mean, because even with his last album, when he was like, that song with Jeremiah was like,
oh yeah.
And then he mentioned Stormy Daniels, like the porn star. So it's like,
maybe so. Like maybe he's preparing for this like porn album release or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Young and May, you know, she shot a porn. You know,
really?
You don't remember that? The lesbian porn?
Young and May?
Young and May. She directed
director. I'm thinking she was in a porn like on some boom gang shit.
Oh no.
Like actually out here like
No,
I'm like what?
Yeah, she directed a porn. It's lesbian porn.
Wow.
But hey, who knows? I mean, even with his fashion shows, he got dresses with the titties out and coochies out. I mean, who knows? Kanye just be on some wild shit. Sometimes. You know, sometimes people just gotta like tap your shoulder and be like, bro, this is not it.
I mean, but sometimes we all got a little like, I don't know, like freak or something in us, like, you know, a little wild side to us. And then it's like, it's kind of cool to express it. Because like I said, I like the song with Lil Pump and the chorus shit. Got straight to the point. Like, you know, I like when you being a hoe or whatever. Like, nigga, who don't like a freak? Like hearing that. You feel me? Like, who don't like a freak? So, like, and then, like, don't get me wrong, like, a lot of Americans, or a lot of America watch porn. Or, like, some sort of, like, you know, so it's just, like, we're over-sexualized, like, society anyway.
Every episode
what
of
you
Power
being
got a sex scene.
every episode, like everything.
Game of Thrones is every porno with swords.
All those HBO, Showtime, it has to have some sex like clause and some in their contract to where they get naked or whatever because sex sells. That's Hollywood. Sex always sells.
30 minutes and they always got a sex scene.
And they always got a sex scene. So it's just like America is an over-sexualized society, so it's just like with you being out in the open, because you really fought the man, because it's like, oh, everybody want he's so hot, but motherfucker, you know what you do behind closed doors.
Fuck almost any woman like you want.
Yeah.
You know, at least on that, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, like, so it's, you know, hey, shit.
I don't know.
Who knows what type of shit
Who knows what he's preparing for, but I feel like he's preparing for his little porn situation.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, he always strategic. But you know what I will say, going back to that interview, like, he was basically saying how, like, sometimes you gotta have a different approach, even towards the Trump shit. Where it's like, you know, a lot of times I just get kind of frustrated because he never actually answers the question.
Yeah,
like head
real
on.
ambiguous.
And he like really be like, like it's really ambiguous, and like he just kind of like goes off on a tangent that has nothing to do with the original question. Right. But he was basically saying how, like, you know, he's cooking up something. He got something in the works as far as like Chicago. Okay. And, you know, coming back and trying to help the city.
Getting back, because Chance been shitting on his ass. I gotta throw that out there. He's definitely been shitting on him as far as, you know, just the love he's been showing Chicago and everything. Where he's much appreciated for everything that he's doing, social works and all that. But yeah, man. Today is definitely gonna be a little interesting today. We're gonna switch it up. So We're doing half car, and actually the second half of the show is going to be at a video shoot with the homie LakaFilms. So today he's shooting for Doughboy.
Free band camp.
Yeah, in the free band camp, one of the future artists. So we're just gonna show y'all a little behind the scenes of that. To my knowledge, it's supposed to be, I think they get in the car. It's gonna be a nice little set, green screen. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a lot going on. So we gonna show y'all how that life is, a little behind the scenes of this Hollywood life that we're not too much part of, but we got ties to, because you know we got the juice. You know, we definitely plug. So we're gonna show y'all a little behind the scenes of that, and we're gonna get back up with y'all later because niggas hungry. All right, all right, peace.
All right.